the photos that I have, and then think about what I understand of those photos. There are a peculiar set of photos from my father's funeral. He died when I was 12, and then so I became really fascinated by this image and started thinking about the ritual of mourning and why we have these rituals, why we practice these rituals to mourn somebody. When is it to benefit them or is it to benefit us? So I started examining photos of my dad when he was young. There's one image that I couldn't put down. It's him standing in front of a red Mustang as a newly immigrant to the United States from Taiwan, and he's this young swashbuckling adventurer in a new land, and this is a photo he sent home to his family, but that's not his car, and I'm sure he had his struggles. I was obsessed, and I started printing this image over and over again because I'm trying to figure out, where do I fit in this? This is not the dad I knew, although he was handsome and it was everything. He was everything to me in that photo, but that wasn't him. That was him trying to portray something to his family and say, I'm doing great, right? So I started thinking about, like, what do I understand about my dad? What do I not know about him? And through examining of these photos, trying to piece things together. But more I think about, the more I look into it, the more questions I have. And I start thinking about being afraid of, like, losing memories of him. But then I thought, no, I'm dwelling on my father, who, like, there's questions that can't be answered, but I also don't know a lot about my mom, who's still alive, and I can ask her questions about. So I started making work about her and talking to her and asking her about her story as a young immigrant to the United States, and started making work about those stories. So initially it was about memory, but right now it's about care and how we care about our loved ones, and care about these sacred objects that we carry around with us that makes us feel connected to our families.
Yeah, that's powerful. So you talked a lot about memory, your family, location. It sounds complex and beautiful at the same time. How do you use your materials to kind of display these feelings that you have?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think material is sort of my main medium. Photography is also a part of a material that I use. And my understanding of photography is that photography is image and material. You can't have photograph without one or the other. And there's stories behind it. So the materials I use are related to the stories that I want to convey. I use glass. I use colors like gold, and blue and red and magenta. These are in various cultures, especially in my own Chinese culture. They're sacred culture. They're sacred colors. They're often seen in ceremonial and religious functions. So I connect the sacredness of these colors and materials with the sacredness of our memory, the memories of our loved ones, the memories of the past, or the objects, like my dad's Bible that I've kept close to me. And I wonder, like, what is sacred? What is really the material here? Is it the material? Is it the object that's sacred, or is it the memory? But how do we bridge that understanding?
Okay, so with all that, that's like you pack so much into your work. It's very poignant, but then it's also heavy at the same time. I guess what would you want to leave people with? Like, what do you want people to think about with your work in relation to themselves, and then like what to move forward with?
Yeah, I know it's talking about grief is not fun, and I think I don't think my work is about grief. I think my work is about caring and how we care about each other. So the funerary mourning rituals are not for the dead. It's for us. It's for us and for each other. So I, in the past couple years, we've lost some loved ones. 1 year we lost our uncle, and I was back in Taiwan, and the family got together. They're folding these paper lotuses to burn as offerings to the underworld for our uncle safe passage to the next life. But I think about those traditions that bring us all together, not in grief, but in support. So that's what I want us to. That's what I would like you to understand of my work in my exhibition. That it's a reflection of who we are as people, not to the dead, but to each other, and how we lift each other and care for each other.
Amazing. Yep.
To the audience. So, are there any questions? I'll bring you a microphone. Okay. This one. I feel like Donahue.
Thank you, Jessica. I had a question for Nick about the charcoal drawings. I know that was a bit of a late addition to the body of work, kind of like happened on the fly a little bit. And I just wanted to hear about the drawings and like how they play in to the body of work and play off of the other sculptures that you have.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Aiden. Great question. That was kind of a challenge. That was something like, so I'm a sculptor, but drawing and painting has always been something that's really like attracted me. Just simple line and form, I think, are foundational for all artists. And I never really got a chance to like dive into it, so I just wanted to, I wanted to make something that displayed these like primordial figures, simple human connection from the beginning. Within the work, on the boat structure, I used joinery to connect two pieces, like a column and a sail, like a figurehead. And that's simply two things coming together, male, female, and that created life to move things forward. So in the beginning, I wanted to make these like representational people of, I guess, like my parents and how that started and moved forward. And I wanted that tree trunk in the middle to be like the beginning, and that like that simple connection between two people. It starts everything.
Another question? Sometimes we have to think a little bit.
Oh, you got one back here.
Okay, I'm gonna get you. Where was that hand?
Hi, this one's for Howard. I'm not sure I'm even ready to like pose it the way I mean to, but it seemed that it was important to you to convey in this presentation that your father wasn't representing himself as you knew him to be. And I wonder how that influenced this body of work for you, as far as like the legacy.
No, that's a great question, and thank you. I think in the photographs, like the photographs that we take of ourselves, the selfies, and photographs that we take as groups, a lot of times we're posing, we're trying to convey something, and I never thought about that looking through photos of my father or my mother early on. But I started thinking about like how we have our photos taken. Think about photos that you've posed for. It's for something. It's for someone. It's taken by somebody. And so my question for my dad, in regards to the photo of him standing in front of the Mustang, is what was your life like? What were you going through? What do we not know? He came to the United States a year and a half before me and my sister, my mom came, and I was about five years old when I came. So that's not the person that I've really gotten to know, and I regret. I feel a little bit sad that I didn't get to know him. But there's also the work that I made of my mom called the title Bodhi Roots, which is the cocoon-like shape on a found ironing board. That's about my mom's story about her early years in the United States. So I guess I'm not really answering your question, but I'm just trying to say that there's something about my dad that I didn't know, and I could never find the answers to. I wish I had known him. I wish I had known that person standing in front of the Mustang, but just like our parents sheltering, most of our parents sheltering us from, their own difficulties. I think that was my parents, and it's not like they were trying to be different people. They were trying to be our parents. They were strong, resilient, and caring and loving. So I think that's something that I kind of respect. At the same time, I wish I'd known my dad a little bit better. Does that answer your question?
Oh, we got time for another question? One, two, we'll get you.
I don't need a mic, I'm good.
Okay.
This is for Mick. I wanted to ask, as far as when you do your work, do you want people to look at your work as some type of solution or a way that people can get along together, or do you want to just want them to continue to see that tension?
Yeah, I guess, just to start to think. I feel like everything's so fast paced to where it's like you look at something, okay, got it, move on. I want people to think about how we affect each other, how our words carry weight, and I guess, just that, like that's essentially like, okay, so I could say something to you